Hi, my name is Tracy and I live in New Hampshire, and I am going to tell you my ayahuasca experience. I really do not want to do this. I'm only doing it because my guides told me I had to. So here goes. First off, I feel like you don't just do ayahuasca. You make sure you are called for it or there's some kind of sign. I don't think just anyone should just willy-nilly just think it's going to be fun. I think it's something that you do that you're called for. So the first thing is the call, which I was called. And then the second thing is the prep work. You need to follow, they give you a diet, you need to follow that. And I would do as much self-evaluation prior, so you're prepared. If you have unforgiveness towards anyone, or you have nastiness in any way or matter, I would address all those things prior, because you're going to address them there, and why waste your time? So and if you don't follow the diet, then you're going to spend a lot of your time throwing up. So it's best to follow the diet. So that would be my second thing. And then finding a place to do ayahuasca is super, super important. I would not just go anywhere. That would be like a bad thing. You got your charlatans and you have maybe people working in lower vibrations. You don't want to be doing that. So I researched and I found a place called Soltara, which I really hate to brag about because they're going to be so busy I'll never be able to go back, but the reality is they're the best place going. It's in Costa Rica. The staff is amazing. The grounds are amazing. The food's amazing. Everything about it is absolutely perfect. So Soltara, they have a limit of 20 people. So I think small groups are better. Maybe other people feel differently, but I wanted to be in a small group. So now to go on to the first day in the morning. So this is people are like, oh, some people think doing ayahuasca is just like another drug kind of thing. And well, no, we had to, this is the worst thing. This was the worst thing I had to do there. We had to drink this lemongrass water, which I thought was going to induce vomiting. And no, that's not what it does. We had to guzzle down like sorority people kegging beer. You had to jug down water until you throw up. I mean, not fun. They recommend you don't wear anything that you care about because you're going to throw up all over your place, which you do, but it's just really the lemon water. You do it 7 o'clock in the morning on an empty stomach and you jug. And I was told, I said, how many glasses you need, to make you throw up? I'm all about numbers. And the guy was like, oh, around 3. 6 glass in. I'm like, he lied. Finally, thank God it all came up. It was not pleasant. It's not fun. It's a part of the ritual to cleanse out your system. It's part of tradition. So I did it. Do I want to do it again? Never. But anyways, that's the first thing you have to do. They want you getting used to throwing up. And then that night we had the first ceremony. This place, Soltara, is, like I said, is amazing. Everything's explained. Everything's what you're getting yourself into. They're just very, very good. So they give you a small dose to kind of see your sensitivity levels. And so, and then after 45 minutes, you put a red light bulb on your chest if you think you want another dose. And I did go for the second dose. I did, I think a total of 1, a half and then a half, made 1. And so, so I did that. And so for me, so the first thing that happened, I speaking tongues. I learned that from my Christian roots. So speaking in tongues in Christian is basically the Holy Spirit speaking through you. That's what the Christian believe and think. and it's under New Age. It's called light language. So there's different philosophies, but it's really one and the same thing. So for me, the first thing that happened was my Holy Spirit, which I always feel like lives right here. And I call Holy Spirit, we'll go back to that later on, lives here. And he guides me, and he's the one who guided me to come here. I knew I had to come to uncover some dark secret that needed to be fixed. There's something in me that I knew needed to be fixed, that nothing else was going to show up. So that is why I was there. Oh, I forgot, you need to set your intentions. Oh, I forgot about that. Before you take the drink, you need to set your intentions, like why you here. So my first night intention was, here I am, show me what you want to show me. Like, I knew I was called, and I'm like, I'm here, show me. So that was my intention. Nothing more than that. I was like, I know I'm being called, here I am. So that's the first thing. So I took the medicine, and the first thing that happened was my Holy Spirit. I found, people call it Mother Ayahuasca, and it says that Mother Ayahuasca speaks to you. My interpretation's a little different because I'm coming from a very strong religious background. I felt like I was dumbed down, and Holy Spirit was clear as day. So the Holy Spirit just was like, the first thing, it just burst out of my mouth. When I speak in tongues, I pick and choose when I'm going to speak, how loud, how long, tone. I don't come up with the sounds, but how fast and slow. So that's me speaking in tongues. I can just or I can speak English, and go back. I can go back and forth whenever I want. Under ayahuasca, different story. So what happened was, it burst out of me loud, like chanting like a crazy man, or like a crazy woman, it just was really loud and very intense, and I didn't have as much control. So we are not allowed to laugh really loud or make loud noises, because you're going to disturb other people. And so here I am, chanting up a storm. So they came over to me, and they said, Tracy, we're reminding you, you're supposed to bring it down. And I couldn't get control. I was trying to get my English words out, saying I can't get control. So they blew cigar on me, and that dumbed me down, and that helped. And then I was able to bring it down a couple notches. When I was chanting, I get the feelings of my Holy Spirit, was thrilled. It was just like, so happy to be there. Was so happy about the shaman women, and it was telling me, this is truth. These women know what they're doing. They're here to heal. This is the place. Whereas I had gone on a Christian mission to Guatemala, and to heal the people, at least thought I was healing the people. And when I went there, my Holy Spirit was just like, who do you think you are? You think you're all that great? You bringing your Christianity to these people who, FYI, are walking with me, and it's you folks, Americans, who are materialistic. You're thinking you're all that, and if someone doesn't have 5 cars or a big house, they're not living correctly. He's like, these people are happy, they're content, they're walking in the Spirit, and the Spirit also was telling me, I didn't send you here. I put you where I want you to be, which is where I live now. So when I left Guatemala, I never walked back in the church again. I totally walked away, because I knew that wasn't the truth that wasn't my path of truth. It wasn't for me. It was going to be something more. So when I went to this Soltara, the Spirit was like, this is what I'm talking about. These are real healers. You all who thought you were a healer going to Guatemala were not. And it was just so happy to be almost with those people. So it was like celebrating and just chanting and singing, and then, like I said, they blew the smoke on me. And so then right after that, the Holy Spirit was like, all right, let's get to business. And it started healing my body. And probably, I don't know much about chakras. I don't know much about all this yoga stuff because I'm coming from a Christian background, but it was putting me in yoga positions. I'm like doing like cat position or like these different body positions. It was moving my body. And then it was breathing exercises. So it took over my breath, and it was having me breathe deep in. And like when I say it takes over, you're there, you're completely aware. I'm sitting there like, okay, what's going on here? And in my head, I'm like talking, I'm like, okay, how long are you gonna hold my breath for? And it would let it out, and they would take deep breath, and then like deeper, and I'm like, okay. And then, and it would hold a pose for a long time, like really tense, and then it would let it go. And then it was like adjusting my back, because I've got thrown off a horse, I don't know how many times, and whiplash from my car. So I could feel it going on my back spine. Oh, and then the other thing that was happening was it was having me do all this breathing stuff, and it was the Holy Spirit. I view as a jokester, like really funny, and a sense of humor. It's not like this rigid, like serious thing. It's always more on the silly side or more carefree. So it was like, aha, I got you. Like it knew that it had more control than me, that my person ego was dumbed down and the spirit came up. So it opens up the spirit realm. And so it was opening my mouth like super wide, like, and it was like doing adjustments and moving things. And so thank God it's dark, because my mouth is like, and I'm like, what the heck? And then it put the shittiest grin on my face. It went like this, like, and it was like laughing. It's like, look what I can do to you. Look at that shit grin. It was making funny faces. I was just like, not funny. So it put this tingly thing on my tongue. It did something with my tongue. I have no idea what. Lots of adjustments inside my mouth and moving my face around. Like I said, breathing. So I think it was just working on lining up, like I said, my chakras, DNA thing. I have no idea, but I definitely felt like it worked on me. So that was the first thing. So the other thing that happened was it taught me a new light language. So I have my standard one that I use and I've been doing for a good 10 years. And then it gave me a new one, which is extremely bizarre. I don't think I would have done it had it not been under ayahuasca. It sounds like chicken and birds and click, click. And so it doesn't even sound like a language. That's it. It's really weird. And it was doing that to me, this whole new language. And I still have it. I wasn't sure if it was something that was going to be temporary or not. I have done some research, and apparently it's Orion language, and it's supposed to update your DNA. It does something with your DNA and your coding in your body, the sounds and tones. And so that language was coming out. That's the other thing. Then on the first night, one more thing happened. So the main focus was confirming that this is truth, fixing stuff with my body, and the new light language, which was doing DNA to my body, yoga, breath work. And then this feeling of grief came over me. I was curled up in a ball, and it was this feeling, I felt like it was my Holy Spirit. It was like really upset, and it was like just my spirit was just it felt like grieving over how long it's taking. It's like I now believe in reincarnation. I used to not. coming from Christian, but now I do. And Jesus says, I was the first Adam, I'm the last Adam. To me, I view that as I was the first Adam, like real first Adam, and reincarnated, like the fallen Adam, and now to the good Adam, which is what we are supposed to become, Jesus. So, and then even Jesus said to his disciples, who do people say I am? And the disciple goes, oh, you're Elijah reincarnated, or you're one of the old prophets. And Jesus didn't rebuke them. He didn't say, no, that's not true. Reincarnation is not true. So, anyways, where was going to go with that? I forgot. Oh yeah, the grieving process. So it felt like my soul was like been here a long time doing this mission, and it just was grieving the missing of its other soul group members or something. It was just this felt of this loss, and it like I just cried, and it kind of like came out through me, and then it was like, oh, okay, all set. Like it was something in me that needed to come out and get released. So that happened. The other thing is I did not throw up, nor did I get diarrhea, because loads of people, that's what happens. I think, so for the first night, that did not happen to me. And that was my first night, so it was a great night. I felt really happy because I felt like I got worked on, everything was great. Night 2. So the second night, I knew I was in for something. I knew it was not going to be all fun and games, and it was going to be some work. I know I was going there to uncover something, so I knew that was going to come up. So when I went under, I had my intentions, or I call this my Holy Spirit because that's how I came to know it. But it's also, I hear when I speak in tongues that it could be, New Age calls it light language. They're saying you're channeling down someone, or it's an old language that you spoke when you were, incarnated way back when, or it's a guardian angel. It's like everyone has their belief on what this is. And so I asked, under my intentions was, are you Holy Spirit? Are you my higher self? Am I channeling? Like, what is this? If it's none of those, explain yourself. So that question was answered, and somewhat answered. It was, this put me in, generally people say you get visions, and sometimes it's like dreams. And for me, this was a vision, part of my ayahuasca trip. It was very vivid, and I would say it was a little scary. It was the only time that I was a little afraid, because it was like, it's hard to explain, but I feel like time is just flying past, right? And it was saying, it's a process. And then it was saying, isn't that the question of mankind? Who am I? What am I? What is this? So it was trying to explain what this spirit I feel like I have inside of me, who and what it is. And it was like, basically, you can't handle it. It's a process. Our little brains and our comprehension of who we are now can't handle it. And in the Old Testament, even, God said that, like, we can't comprehend him. We can't get all that information in this carnation on this level of plane. So it was like showing me all kinds of things, just flying past real quick, and kept saying it's a process. And it was kind of like showing like little scenes of like in the Roman times, philosophers discussing mankind and, talking. And it was just like that kind of thing. Like, this is a process. This is what happens. Evolution, just keep go. It's been going. The question I'm asking has been asked forever, and guess what? We can't. It's a process, and you'll figure out as it goes along. So that was my answer on that. But the reason I said it was kind of scary is because it was showing that my brain can't handle it, and it basically makes you like insane. And it was showing me like how you know, what's real, what's not real, what's truth, what's not truth. And it would show me some of the, like, God, it's hard to explain. So all right, here's one little example. It was saying, I went to do this ayahuasca thing and I thought I was called, and then it was making me believe that, like, were you really called, or are you here because you're crazy and you need to clean your brain out? And oh, by the way, your husband's in-laws are at the house because they're supporting him while you're here because you're at your last chance trying to fix yourself, kind of thing. And it was like, kind of show me, like, that's what would happen to me if I really got the truth of what it was. I would be crazy. So I was like, okay, we don't have to go into that anymore. So then the next thing it did, now this was a dream state. So that was visions. That was very vivid, very, like, I could see things. And then this other phase, ayahuasca goes in phases. It's like, whoop, whoop, you come in and go out. And you have your wits about you. You're not, like, drugged out. You can get up, you can go to the bathroom, you can walk outside, you can actually communicate. You're not, like, out of it. You close your eyes and you can actually kind of open your eyes and get out of it if you want to. So, so I was laying back and I was closing my eyes, and this felt like a dream, not a vision. It was very dreamy like, and it was showing me coming down to earth. So I'm laying down in this, like, space thing to come down to earth. And my best friend is getting suited up, and I'm getting suited up. And the suit is this human skin. And I have, like, little guys working on me, and guys or girls. I did not distinctly see images of what was working on me. Like, I can't say, oh, I had an alien race and they had big eyes or nothing like that. I just knew there was beings working on my body, get me ready to go down. And I'm talking up a storm, and my buddy's getting suited up, and we're going down together. And I get, like, the vision of, like, Top Gun, and I am Iceman, and my buddy is Maverick. Sadly, I would like to say I was Maverick, but no, I was Iceman because I was a cocky little shit. And they're getting me all ready, and I look over to my best friend who's going down, and I kept calling him Neanderthal, and I'm like, you know, make sure Neanderthal remembers our mission when we go down there. We know him. He's like, duh. And I was, like, being really cocky about that. And just kind of like that guy joking around. So finally I looked down and to see my costume, my suit that I'm going down, and it's a girl suit. I was pissed. I'm like, what the hell? What the heck? I'm a girl. And I look over to my friend. He's in this gorgeous, like, man suit, and I'm like, I'm in this. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so then I was like, fine. I'm like, my friend was Nate. I'm like, Nate, I'm gonna kick your ass still, and I'm gonna do it in a girl suit. So I'm cool with this. Fine. I'll take on the challenge. I'll go in a girl suit. You can have your little perfect little man suit. I get this suit. So I'm looking at my body, and I'm like, well, guys, if I'm gonna be a girl, might as well give me some bigger boobs here or something. So my boobs went boop, boop, boop. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm still an athlete. I'm a guy. Like, I don't want big boobs. They're gonna get in the way. So I was like, get rid of those boobs. No big boobs. And then I was like, well, oh, I know. I want big, thick, lustrous, beautiful hair. So my hair grows all out. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That is not gonna fit underneath a baseball hat. It's not gonna fit under a riding hat. I'm like, hair and hats, nah, yeah, get rid of that. I don't want that. So anyways, then I said, oh, well, at least let me age gracefully, please. I'm like, I want to age gracefully. Please let me age gracefully. So I think I might get that, but at the moment I don't feel that, but we'll see. So anyways, the other feelings I was getting was I kept jostling with my friend, Nate, and I was just like telling the guys who suit me up, and they kept telling me, be quiet, stay still, because they're like working on my head. They're like, stay still. And I'm like, blah, 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 trying to talk, and they're like, stay still, be quiet, we need to do these procedures. And I kept talking. And so I'm like, all right, fine. And then as soon as they stopped working in my mouth, I'd be like, make sure Neanderthal remembers, he needs to remember. And so then they, and then I was getting the feelings of like guy feelings of like, he's my best friend. I'll do anything for him. And I'm like, yeah, make sure Neanderthal remembers. Like, if I need to help him out, I'll help him out. I'll do anything. I'll do anything for this guy kind of feelings. So that was that part of my dream. So I felt like I said, I was Iceman, and that was Nate. He was the Maverick. And we came down to Earth to do a mission, and it's taken us a long ass time. We've been here a long time. And I think that we're in soul groups. And this Nate guy was actually at Costa Rica. So I feel like I met someone from my soul group. I did ask him, I said, did you happen to see me under ayahuasca or anything? And he, first night he said no. Second night, that night I didn't talk to anyone until the following day. And actually, I don't think I talked to anyone until the next day. And he told me on the third night that he saw me. He goes, I saw you. And what he got was that we were the same. He said, yeah, I looked over and I saw you, and I was told that we are the same, which I take that we are in the same group. And I totally feel like we are here together on a mission. So God knows what that is. Isn't that the question? So anyways, that was that. Let me check my notes here. Let's see here. I'm going to pause. Okay. So the other thing was on the second night, I did like I think a cup and a half. And I'm super sensitive to stuff. And so I was super sensitive to ayahuasca. And it typically lasts 8 hours. For me, it lasted 22 hours. I did not come to until the next day at 5:30. When I say come through, I didn't have my full self back. So I went back to my room, and it was still happening. It comes in this waves, and ayahuasca was still working with me. And so some more stuff happened. But, I just want you to know, like, I end up skipping breakfast because I didn't have my wits about me. I didn't want to be around anyone because I did not want to be I don't like being underneath the influence in front of people. Like, I don't want to get like, I'm not going to do a drug and be around people because I'm self-conscious. So I skipped breakfast, and I went down to the beach. I felt like I needed to go to the beach. So you have the wits about you to go someplace. So I went to the beach, and I laid down and stuff, and something happened there, but let's backtrack. So I'm in my room, and they had taught us there's a help walkie-talkie. If you ever feel like you need help, you use the walkie-talkie. And they told us to learn how to use it prior, because when you are under the influence, you will not know how to use it. Good tip. I could not use a walkie-talkie. It took me 2 hours to figure out push and button on a walkie-talkie. I don't know. I'm a programmer. I couldn't figure it out. So, but it was part of my teaching. So one of the things I have issues with is I'm very independent, and I don't call for help. So it was forcing me to call for help. So I called my husband because I didn't want to be alone. So I'm talking to my husband on the phone under the influence of ayahuasca. I would get a wave, and I'm talking to him. I'm like, oh, here it comes. And we were talking through it. And then I call my girlfriend, and I have waves of ayahuasca, and you're very I can't say the word, philosophical. I can't say it. I'm sorry. I can barely speak English, but you know what I'm talking about, where you're just like, your mind is just contemplating life, and you're asking all these questions and pondering them. And I'm talking to my friend, what about this and that, and my husband, and you're just thinking, like the thought of my cats came through, and they're like, oh my God, my cats are here to teach me unconditional love, because I have issues with that. And it showed me what unconditional love is like. And so, anyways, I ended up calling my husband, my friend, I'm calling my sister, I am calling everyone, and I'm trying to figure out the walkie-talkie because I didn't want to be by myself. And it was teaching me to call out for help. It was part of the ayahuasca thing. And so 2 hours later, the staff comes in. And I just wanted someone to talk to and talk through things. So she talked with me and stuff. And I was like, it was probably like 7 or 8. And I'm like, I'm still under. I don't know what to do. They're like, oh, you'll be fine. Give a couple more hours and we'll see you at lunch. Yeah, no, I missed lunch because I was still under. So anyways, there was actually one more thing I need to go back. At the ceremony, it worked on my ego. And what it was showing me was, I'm very pride, and it's always about letting go of your ego. I did not let go of my ego. It was showing me, is my ego serving me or not serving me? Like my pride. And so when I was at the ceremony on the second night, it told me to wear white shorts. So I did. I had white shorts, I wore them. And so during the ceremony, I'm sitting outside, and the little voice in my head's just like, so you want to get rid of that ego? You want to get rid of this pride thing? And I was like, no, I think I'm good with pride. I'm like, it's serving me. It's all right. I don't mind my pride. And I'm like going back and forth, and it's like, well, we could get rid of your pride. We could have you poop in those white shorts. And I'm like, no. They're like, yeah, you can just poop in those shorts and you can get rid of all that pride. And I was like, nope, think I'm going to keep it. So I did have that happen, and it kept having me think about, it said, hold on, I did write this down, is what do you serve? What does it serve you? And what you serve controls you. So we'll just give an example. Cigarettes, I don't smoke, but I'm just giving you this example. Cigarettes are actually useful in lots of ancient traditions. Now, so it is serving us. Now, if like you smoke and you're addicted to cigarettes, you are serving the cigarette. So it's like, is something, a substance or anything, is it serving you and helping you grow? Or are you serving it? Are you giving it your like essence to it? Like, so if you like addicted to cigarettes, you are serving the cigarette. It is not serving you. So like coffee is the same thing. Having like, if you're addicted to coffee and you're doing it all the time, then it's controlling you and you are serving that instead of it serving you. So it was showing me that, and to consider that on everything, like who's serving, it or you kind of thing. So that was another little lesson I had. Another lesson was, like I said, the pride thing, I didn't let it go. I was like, I think I'm keeping it. It's serving me. And I went through that whole process, what's serving me. And I said, yeah, it's serving me right now. So I did not let it go. And the second night, no throw up, no diarrhea. I didn't have any of those issues. So let's see, what else do I have here? All right, so then we still haven't come to the big reason why I was sent for ayahuasca. So that did not come until at the beach. So I went down to the ocean. I felt like I had to go there. So I'm laying down and I'm grounding myself. So I was on the wet part of, the tide went in and it's really wet. So I know that water conducts more. So I'm like laying flat. I got sand all in and out of me, in my hair. I am covered. I'm like face down in it. I'm flipping on my back. And then I would go under a little trip and I'm on my back. And when you're tripping, you're like, woo, you move it around. And I'm thinking there's this little cabana thing a little farther over. I don't think there's that many people there, maybe 3 or 4. I'm not sure, but I'm sure they're looking over saying, there's one of those wacky Soltara people, because here I am. tripping on the beach. So anyways, it came to me. It brought up the memory of when I was around 21, 22. I was living in Florida. I was in the Air Force. I just got stationed there. And it brought that memory up to me. And it said, let's go through the timeline of this event. And I was like, fine. And so it was like, I was in Florida. I'm from New England. Hot for me, very hot. And I can remember going into this shop, and it was an herbal shop, like one of those ones you get vitamins and things like that. And this guy owned it, and I just got there. And he goes, when I say just got there from Germany. I just got stationed there. So he had asked me out on a date, and I'm like, sure, why not? And he goes, yeah, come over to my house tomorrow. I'm like, because I live on the ocean. It was Destin. Destin was the beach. I said, sure. And so I went to his house. I didn't park at his house. I did park like at a store, and I walked to his house. And not sure why I did that, but that's what I did. And he, in my mind, and the story was, this is the story I told myself, was we went in and he made me a White Russian. I had a drink. I'm a lightweight. I drank it. I got sick. I threw up, which is somewhat normal for me. I had one drink. I was throwing up. I remember him coming on to me, and I remember saying, I need some fresh air. I don't feel well. And so we went outside, went for a walk. I felt uncomfortable, didn't feel safe. I can remember thinking I got away from him, like left, laid in the dunes, passed out until about 10 o'clock at night. Sobered up, got my car, left. That is what I remember. So under ayahuasca, it's like, okay, now let's go through the thing. You, when I first got there, went for a walk on the beach first. So me and him went for a walk on the beach. Then we went back to his house. Then I had a drink. And then it was like one White Russian. Who passes out from 11 o'clock to about 10 o'clock? Who passes out on one drink? No one's that much of a lightweight. And I was like, yeah. He's like, most likely something was in your drink. I'm like, yeah. So it's like date rape. So it said, remember you were throwing up? He goes, the little voice is like, do you think you were capable to walk on the beach after you were all dizzy and throwing up? No. Now me just saying this really hurts. I hate saying this. I have to say it's part of my healing. So this is the healing part, that I had to go do ayahuasca because I have to heal this. So I hate saying that. I hate saying that I did not get away. And so I didn't get away. What happened was I passed out. And somewhere from passing out, he brought me to the doom somehow. I don't know. I remember stumbling. I remember passing out. And the idea of thinking I got away from him on the beach. How can you hide on the beach? It's so stupid. I can't believe that's the story I was telling myself. So, so the big healing I have is, as much as I don't remember what happened to me, and thank God I'm fine, my soul and my spirit and my body does. And so it needs healing. I'm not exactly sure how to heal that. And if anyone knows, please put a comment down below, because I still need to do something with this, at the point of acknowledging it and saying, I did not escape. I have to keep saying that over because I want to say, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I'm a fast runner. No, that's not true. And so I have to keep reminding myself, I did not escape. And I know I need to heal that in my body. And I know I haven't quite done that yet. And I really don't know where to begin. I'm like, okay, spirit, how do I heal this? I don't know. I might have to do some regression or something. I don't know if anyone has any ideas. Let me know, because that is on my list of things to do. So that is the reason why I had to go do ayahuasca. That is why I was sent. There is nothing that would bring that up. And the reason I need to heal this is because I feel like I'm called to carry light, just be who I am and carry light. And I can't carry a ton of light when I have that injury in me, and that needs to be healed and let go so more light can come in. That's my thought process and what I think it is. All right, let me go on. I think I'm gonna take a break. So when I was at the beach, I think that's why it had me go to the beach, to bring up that whole thing, remind me of the ocean and stuff. And so then after that, I went back to my room. I was still under the influence of the medicine all the way up until about 5:30 that evening, a long time. So the next ceremony started at 7:30 or 7, I can't remember exactly. And so I talked to the staff, and I'm like, I am barely coming out of the medicine. I question if I should do it again tonight, because we got travel and we have things to be doing, and I can't have another full day under. And they told me that in the olden days, the tradition was the shamans only took ayahuasca, and the recipient of health, of the healing, did not. I'm like, well, I'm not taking it tonight then. I'm like, if that's the way they used to do it, you know, us Americans were always like, give me more, I want it. So I was like, fine, I'm not taking it tonight. I went to ceremony. I did not take the medicine. Like I said, I speak I have a light language, and I'm really good at bringing in energy. And so I sat there, I spoke my light language. They came and they sat in front of me, they sang my song. I received it, and I felt like the ceremony was just as good. It was more, I actually fell asleep. Don't forget, I was up for 24 hours. So I did fall asleep, and it was more of just a relaxing. They closed your chakra. It was more of a relaxing, closing chakra and sealing the work that was done. So the third night was not very eventful for me. Other people had a lot that was happening, but for me, it was closing my chakra. I was feeling into the energy, feeling into the people. I was very peaceful. And it was just, just very like yoga, meditating like thing, I think. Which I do not do, FYI. I know that everyone does yoga, and all these spiritual people do all these things. I do none of those. I speak in light language, and I go out for walks in nature, and I have animals, horses, goats, and chickens, and cats. And so I think that, and I'm a gardener. I think that helps me because I'm always outside with the earth. So I don't have a set meditation program like most people. I have my meditation is just being out in the outside. Let's see what else I have to go through. Let me check my notes. All right, so medicine still works in your system for like 2 weeks after. So you're gonna have dreams, and it's still working and answering questions. So I had other questions, and I had questions about my legs kind of swell up in the summer in the heat, my veins, varicose veins. And I've been wondering how to fix them, cure. And so that came to me like after, when I was home, like 2 weeks later, and it was goldenrod tea. So I drink goldenrod tea. So that came, and then I get migraines, and that came to me. It's because the earth vibration is changing, and I always wondered what it was and how do I stop this migraine, and what do I eat, what do I don't eat. Like I'm always was searching, and now that I know it's just download of information or upload from the earth, vibrational changes, magnetic north and south pole changing. There's a lot going on in the atmosphere right now. Like they had that hurricane down in Florida, that affects me. And so the headache was from that, downloading information. So knowing that it's downloading information and it's helpful, I can stomach the headaches. I'm like, it's kind of like you give birth. Birth is not fun, but you have a child after it. So you go through it and it'll be fine. So for me, I was like, okay, I can go through my headache knowing that is going to be good in the end. So I had one, I think last week, and I did ask, and they were like, yeah, an upgrade. I'm like, okay. So that, I'm trying to see what else questions. So my veins were fixed, my migraines understood, my light language. Now I view it as, I found a lady who speaks 15 different light languages, and they name them according to alien races: Palladians, Arcturians, Reptilians, Lemurians, and Sarians, and I listen to them, and then like there's a resonation vibration that you feel when it sounds familiar, and so Sarian, Lemurian is what rings to me, and then the new language was that Orion. I mean, that language is all by itself. You're speaking Orion when you hear Orion. So I'm like, so now I know that my language is, it is a language, and it's not from this earth. It's from out of this earth. And when God spoke, he said, let there be sun, let there be light, and the world was created. Sound and vibration creates. And by speaking light language, we bypass our brains. So like, let's pretend my light language was saying those affirmations. You're wonderful, you're great, you can do this, and saying all these wonderful things. So if, say, I understood that, my brain would be like, no, that's not true. I'm not that great. I have this fault or that fault. Whereas the light language, I don't understand it. So it's saying all these great things. My soul, my body understands it. And it's like, yeah, you're right. I am that good. Or yeah, you're right. That is going to happen. So I always kind of view it as sending out the tones and the vibration, because words can hurt you or bring you up. And we all know that. Words are powerful. So these sounds and these waves are very powerful, and they carry a message, and I just go with that. My ego can't fight with it and can't say, no, that's not true. My soul understands it. So anyways, I learned that. So the little aliens are speaking through me, and they're saying lovely things. I use it when I talk to my animals. I use it on the ground. I use it to bless places. I use it in prayer. Just like Paul in the book of Acts says, when I don't know what to pray for or how to pray, I pray in the Spirit. That's what I do. If I get a call and someone says someone needs prayer, I pray in the Spirit. The Spirit knows best. So that's what I use it for. And I did ask for wisdom to eventually learn it, like understand it, because there are people, just like in the New Testament, some people, to learn to be able to understand what you're saying is even better gift. So I would like that. Okay, I guess I think I covered everything. There's a lot more that happened. It's hard to explain it all and remember it all. I have things written down, but I think I get the most important things out. The other thing is, would I do it again? Yes, I would do it again. If I get called to do it again, I'm doing it again. I definitely think, I hear that people use it who have PTSD, and it helps to heal them, and I agree, I think it does. I'm participating in a study, and they send me surveys and I answer them, and I'm all for the use of ayahuasca to help people. I agree, it does that. I guess that's it. Like I said, my spirit wanted me to do this, so here's my video, here's my experience. I hope I can help someone. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, and I guess that's it. Signing out. Bye. Seriously. Oh, honey.